The head looks slightly bigger. Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSU81 and today I'm going to do a review for this, the Marvel Legends Morph from X-Men 97. To be honest, I know nothing about this character until I watched the X-Men 97. I just fall in love with him because he can transform into so many useful characters to help out in the battle, and not to mention he's funny too.
I know what's wrong. How? Why, I'm Jean Grey, humble telepath extraordinaire, and I'm having the most beautiful baby in the world with the most boring man in the world. And oh, hello you on the sidelines, watching our exhausting perfection every day.
So I've been wanting to add him into my collection, and now here he is. Very glad about it. As for the box design, as you can see, he's on the very classic cardboard boxes that you can actually hang it around with. You can see there's a hole here, and I just noticed that he is actually in this theme picture as well. Okay, so looking very good, and I always love the transparent window packaging so you can see what you are getting for. At the back of the box, you can see the figure itself plus all the characters that it comes with. I was actually interested in Emma Frost and Cable as well, but I just decided to get Morph first. And Jubilee, I do have another Marvel Legends, so I don't think that I need her now. So let's get him out. And we have Morph. Okay, sorry, he's a bit playful. So here is Morph right out of the box. We can see, wow, he just looks pretty good there. However, I do have one tiny gripe, is that you can't have his arm next to him like this. This will look so much better, but because of his rubber jacket or something, it actually makes his arm go out slightly. Okay, so let's take a closer look. Even though this piece is not going to hinder any of the articulation, I believe, except for bending backwards maybe, but it does, like, you know, I say, it can't make the arm go all the way down. That's quite a bummer, otherwise it will look so much better, unless you don't intend to have him on standard museum pose. Then I believe it's fine for his arm to go out slightly. Okay, so the X-Men jacket does looks pretty good, even though it's just brown. I just love the X-Men logo here, and it's very body fitting. Yeah, this is one of the things that I like. I don't like the rubbery suits to be big and flowing because it will actually take some space in your collections. This one just looks nice, and I do like the X-Men belt as well. The yellow is the correct yellow that they've been using for all the X-Men characters, which is very good. It's going to look great together with the theme. And the blue, wow, I kind of think that this blue is very nice. You can see it's somehow glossy, at the same time it's also like a matte. If you have the lights off, you will see that it's actually matte. This is really looking nice, and the yellow as well is looking very good. Okay, everything is being done rather nicely, even though it's a simple figure. And there is one thing that I really like about it, is this head sculpt. Even though it's just, you know, white, nothing much, there's not much paint, but I do love the black shadings, especially on the nose here and around the mouth. He does have a smirk, a very nice touch there, at least with some expressions. As compared to this one is just, you know, purely white, even though there are shadings around the eyes, but you can't see the shadings on the nose. So this one is just looking very good. It just add on the details to his plain face, which I'm pretty glad they did it. Yeah, the smirk just looks very good there. This is very nice. And next we'll move on to the articulation. I'll start with the head as always, so you can look to the right, looks to the left, no problem. Looking up, just slightly. Looking down, I believe should be much better. Let's try it. Yeah, you can actually look down much better. Looking up, oh sorry, actually once you loosen things up, you can actually look up pretty much. Wow, this is almost like a very good flying pose if you want to. Okay, for his arm, you can go 360 degree, going up sideways. It can go actually more than 90 degrees, but it just push it down. I think it's this portion of the jacket. Yeah, even though it's not hindering, but it still push it down a little. Is there any butterfly joint? Believe not. Okay, and there's a cuts on the bicep, so there's a bicep shivels, a double joint elbow, which is very good. Wow. Okay, and then for his hand, you can turn it around, going up and down. Yeah, not much. Once again, it's because of the jacket. Okay, and then for the torso, there is 2 point articulations, one just right beneath here. Let's see how well it can bend forwards. Yeah, pretty good. And bending backwards is, like I mentioned, is slightly hindered by the rubber suit, the jacket, just like this. Okay, and there's a, you can actually turn on his waist here. The belt is together with the body this time, it's not a separate piece. Okay, for his leg, there is no pull down mechanism. Let me try it again. Yeah, even if there is, just a very slight movement there. And kicking forwards, slightly less than 90 degrees. Kicking backwards, let's try that. Just very slightly. Is there? Yeah, there's a cuts on the tights that's very well hidden. Yeah, you can't really tell. So there's a tight shivers, a double joint knee, which is pretty good as well. Can you shivers on the boots? Yeah, okay, you can shivers on the boots area as well. Pretty good, and again, it's very well hidden. And there's an ankle rocker going up and down, and there are no toe hinges for this guy. And let's see if he can do not perfect split, but it's pretty good. Okay, so that's a pretty standard articulations for Marvel Legends. And next we'll move on to the accessory. I'll start with the hands as always. So he does comes with a left relaxed hands and a right open palms hands. Yeah, at first I thought it's both relaxed hand, but as you can see, it's slightly different. A pair of closed fist hands, a regular interchangeable human head, which actually looks very much like the Nicholas Hoult with hair, and another interchangeable head which I'm not sure who this is, but it does remind me of Norman Osborn. And yes, that's all the accessories for this morph. And next we'll try to put on some of the accessories onto the figure. I'll start with the hands as always, so let's take it out and just pop in the closed fist hands. Yep, with a clicking sound, I like that. Yeah, so this actually looks pretty good as well. To interchange the head, basically just pop it off and put in the interchangeable heads, which looks pretty weird with the neck like that. But I think this is okay because he can transform anyhow he wants to. Yeah, this does looks like Nicholas Hoult.
Thought you were gonna slice Summer's head off back there. Want to talk about it?
And this is how he looks like with this Norman Osborn head look-alike. And somehow I do feel that maybe because the body is slim, so it just makes the head look slightly bigger. Don't you think so? And if you want to, you can even put this morph head into other characters, which is actually legit as well because he can transform into anyone. Yeah, this one just looks pretty good. Please click on the likes button if you enjoyed the review. Thank you. And for the size comparisons, I will compare with some Marvel Legends X-Men. I do have this Wolverine, who is shorter than him, and also Bishop, who is taller than him. And next I'll compare with some Mayfax. I do have Cyclops right over here, as well as this Wolverine. Wow, I think it's still pretty good. And next I'll compare with some City Toys. I do have this Wolverine once again, as well as this Gambit, which is also from City Toys. And lastly, we'll compare with some SH figures. I do have this MCU Wolverine, as well as the Deadpool. Okay, so for my final verdict, I would think that this morph is a rather dispensable character. You don't need to get him if you are not a big X-Men fan. But for those of you guys who are building an X-Men team, yes, I definitely think that he should be in the team. As you can see, this figure is looking pretty good with good articulations, however, pretty limited accessory. But I do appreciate they did give 2 more interchangeable head sculpt. So I do hope that my review will help you to decide whether you need to get this figure, and I'll catch you guys again in my next video. Now I hope you will watch this video right over here.